Last time on Total Drama Random Island, tensions rose between everyone on the Screaming Gophers due to Millie's notebook. Campers had to stay awake for as long as they could, and despite clever planning from Courtney, Dakota was able to keep Sam awake long enough for Sam to get the win for the Gophers in the end, outraging Courtney, who made a deal with Sky and Tyler to get rid of Dakota. Noah asks Millie how she's doing, and Millie tells him to screw off. Noah says that if it makes her feel any better, Sadie now hates me for not telling everyone about the notebook. Millie says that it must not have been him who told Sugar then. This sucks, doesn't it? Noah says what? The fact that we lost our best friends, the feeling of guilt, or the game in general? Millie says a little bit of all of that. I wish I could have just put this idea behind me, and I wish I would have played the game from the beginning. Noah asks why she just doesn't do it now, and Millie says that it may be too late. Noah says it's better late than never, but hey, do what you want, it got you 8 episodes into the show. And Maria tells Courtney that she's seeing the writing on the wall as clear as day. First Nichelle goes, then Dakota. Now don't sit here and tell me I'm not next. Courtney responds by saying that she knows it looks bad, but promises she wants to split apart a major alliance first. And Maria says alright, but I get a whiff of anything funny and I'm doing all I can to save myself, and I don't care who I knock over. Courtney in confessional says that Anne Maria doesn't scare her in the slightest. She has the brains of Dakota and the skill of Nichelle. Only thing she can do right is hog the bathroom to do her makeup. Chris tells the teams to report to the amphitheater immediately for their next challenge. In confessional says this is so unfair, I am way too good to be an intern in this stupid game. Millie says that Priya probably has a great hidden talent. Wait, where's Priya? Lorenzo says that she's in her room still after what you did. Millie says come on, this was ridiculous, she could at least try. Tom says why, so you can write it in your notebook to make fun of it? Noah tells him to lay off of her, and Sadie says of course you'd want to protect her after you hid the fact you knew about the notebook. Geoff says what? Bro, no way that's true, right? Noah says, well, it's kinda true. Tom says kinda true. It either is or it isn't. Sam tells him to shut up. How is arguing gonna help them win the challenge? I'm gonna show my gaming skills. Who else will go? Lorenzo says I can go. Back home I was about to get my orange belt in karate by breaking a plank of wood with just my hand, so that's what I'll do. Geoff says, wow dude, that's wicked. Alright, I'll show off my skateboarding skills. Tom says, wow. Sam, I did not think you could actually pull that off, but you actually may have the makings of a leader after all. Sam says thanks, I've been playing a lot of strategy games recently, so I guess leadership is rubbing off on me. In confessional, Sam says that honestly, he just wanted to take charge to impress Dakota. Courtney tells the team that she's gonna be one of the acts. Anyone else wanna go? Tyler tries showing off his yo-yo trick but gets ensnared in it, and Courtney says, yeah, that would be great if we're trying to lose. Sky says, hey, he'll get it next time, practice makes perfect after all. Courtney says, sure, that's great, but you forget that we are not gonna have another talent competition. Anne Maria says she'll go, she can sing so well that windows shatter. Courtney says, well, it's better than Tyler's act at least. Anyone else? Beardo raises his hand and Carrie says, wow, I didn't expect that out of you. Brick says, yeah man, you sure you got this? Courtney tells them to stop babying him. He's a teen like them and he can make his own decisions. Alright, me, Anne Maria, and Beardo are the acts. Anne Maria gets on the stage and says to listen up all you wannabes. You are in the presence of a true queen, and I'll demonstrate by singing to you all. Consider this a luxury, as in the future I'll charge $10 just to listen to a single note of my music. She begins singing and all the glass breaks. Chris tells her to stop, we've heard enough. Unsurprisingly, it gets a 1 on the Shuffle-meter. Anne Maria says number 1, yes! Courtney tries to say something, but Sky tells her it's easier to just let her think it's a good score. Courtney says fine, good job Anne Maria. Alright, next up is Lorenzo. Lorenzo tells the cast that they are in the presence of a karate master. He swings his arm and immediately yells in pain as he breaks his hand on the plank of wood. Chris says that was awesome, and Chef kind of agrees with a score of 3 points. Anne Maria says, ha, sucks to suck short stuff, I have the better score. Chris tells him that the next act will be Courtney with her violin. She plays it and gets 5 points. Courtney says, what? 5 points? I hit every note and played perfectly. Chris says yeah, and that's boring. You're lucky you got that much at all in my opinion. Alright, next up is Sam. Sam says, hey, I'm gonna be playing the hardest level in this game and I'll beat it in 30 seconds. He begins playing it and 30 seconds later he says, done. Chris says, wow, would have been a lot cooler if we could have seen it. 4 points. Geez, you all are some stinkers. Geoff says to hold on, bro, and he does a skateboard trick, and Chris says it's about time something cool happened, and Geoff agrees. You get a 7. Geoff says, nice! 7 is higher than any test score I've gotten. Alright, this is it, Killer Bass. You need a score of 8 to tie and 9 or more to win. Beardo, it's your time to show us your talent. Beardo doesn't go out onto the stage, and Carrie goes behind the stage to see what's wrong, and Beardo says he can't do it, not with everyone watching. Carrie says, how about this? You practice your talent to me, and then you'll feel comfortable enough to do it in front of everyone else. Just close your eyes and I'll take you there. Carrie leads him onto the stage, and Carrie tells him to do it. Beardo says, okay, here I go. Beardo starts beatboxing, and after it's over, cheers erupt, and Chris says he scores a 10. Killer Bass win! Beardo in shock passes out. Carrie in confessional says that maybe it was a bit messed up, but we won. Brick tells Carrie that what she did was wrong. She forced him to come out of his shell in front of everyone, and that wasn't her decision to make. Carrie says that they couldn't go back to elimination, and Brick says he knows that, but still, what you did was wrong. Courtney says, oh, boo-hoo. Carrie, you did great. Sometimes you have to give them the push that they need. Brick says, really? You're on Carrie's side? Courtney says, of course. If not for her, one of us would be going home. Brick says, unbelievable. Carrie, you and Courtney are made for each other. There's more to this than just winning. And Courtney asks what is more important than winning in this game, and Brick says friendship and loyalty. Courtney says, yeah, that really worked out for Dakota and Nichelle, huh? Brick says he can't believe them before leaving. Carrie tries to tell him to wait, but Courtney says not to worry, he'll understand sooner or later. Sadie asks if they're getting rid of Millie, and Sam says honestly he doesn't really care about that whole thing. Like, they can get rid of Millie at any time, but Priya has been throwing challenges and he doesn't like that. Geoff says that he hates to be that guy, but he kind of agrees. Like, Priya was great when she tried, but now she's given up. Sadie says that there's no way they're gonna get rid of Priya over Lorenzo after Lorenzo broke his hand. Tom says he agrees with that at least. Sam says, really, Tom? Tom says, yeah, Lorenzo's been way less useful than Priya as a whole. Sam says, well, then that means I have to get Noah and Millie's votes. And Tom says, not if he gets theirs first. Chris welcomes the entertainment, gaming, wood chopping, skateboarding. There's only one marshmallow left on my plate. Lorenzo, Priya, you two are at risk of going home. Priya asks what she did, and Lorenzo says he'd like to know as well. Chris says, Priya, you've been avoiding challenges like the plague. You knew it had to bite you sooner or later. Priya says, I've been dealing with my heart being played with. Chris says, it's total drama. Get over it. Lorenzo, every time you step up, you somehow considered the one that the Gophers decided to keep was? Millie stands up and says to hold on. Priya, Lorenzo, every other Gopher, she's sorry. Chris says, yeah, super touching, but we have a final marshmallow to give out. Millie says that won't be necessary. She can't stand to watch her two best friends in this game fall because of her. She quits. Chris says, wow, I didn't see that coming. Lorenzo says, no, don't do that. Millie says it's okay. She hopes this can start to right the wrong she has caused. She's already burned the notebook and none of her pages will be published. Priya says she doesn't need her pity, but Chris says that if she doesn't want to accept, she can go on the boat of losers instead. Priya asks Millie if she's sure about this, and Millie says of course. Let's face it, this is your dream, not mine, and I don't want to rob you of that. I hope you can forgive me someday, both of you. Millie walks off, but Lorenzo tells her to wait before kissing her. Millie says she's gonna miss him the most before getting on the boat. Chris tells them that certainly was exciting, but don't expect anyone else to have a change of heart to save your butts next elimination. You better start winning. Well, good night, campers. Dakota tells Sam that he was really cool, and Sam says it was nothing. That was one of his worst runs. He usually can finish the level in 25 seconds. Dakota says she wasn't talking about that. You took charge. I've never seen that from you before. Sam says, yeah, well, someone had to. Dakota asks what he's gonna do about Tom, and Sam asks what she means. Dakota tells him that it's clear there's a slight divide. The Lorenzo and Priya issue isn't gonna be solved before one of them goes home. You either need to flip to Tom's side or find a new ally. Noah in confessional says that he voted for Priya because she was a threat. Plus she's scary, and I'd have hated for her to try to seek revenge on me, but all's well ends well, I hope.